The FlightLine Corsair 1.6 meter is a perfect scale warbird for your collection. The Corsair also includes a bunch of scale features which I will get into later on the video. However, let's get right into the build. Now before you start building your Corsair, you'll need to unbox it. Everything came very well packaged as everything usually does from Motion RC. Now I will be leaving this airplane fully stocked for this full flight and this whole review, but let me know in the comments if you guys want to see any mods with this airplane. Now the first step to the build is the vertical and horizontal stabilizer. The horizontal stabilizer goes on first and then the vertical stabilizer. They were both held in by 4 screws. I'm using the build video from Motion RC to help me build this airplane. The next step is the wing. You join the wings together by a carbon spar and then 2 screws that will screw the wings together. Once you are done assembling the wing, then you can go ahead and grab your fuselage, put the wing on your fuselage upside down, grab the 2 plastic pieces that are included in the box, put them on the 2 pieces that mount in the wing, and then put in your 4 screws. Now I didn't put the prop in because it's a pretty easy assembly and you can easily do it off of the instructions. So now let's go ahead and get on to the flight portion of this video. Alright, so now we're out at the flight line. We're going to go ahead and fly this thing. I'll show you guys everything that you need to know about it. I'll go ahead and show you guys the battery where we have that real quick. So I am using a 5,000 milliamp battery. You can go ahead and show it up there. It is all the way up in the front. And I am running AS3X on this. It doesn't need it. It flies perfectly fine without it. I just added it in there just because I really like this airplane and I wanted it to fly super well. So yeah, let's go ahead and get it up in the air. I get about 7 minutes of flight time on that 5,000, which is really good. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and taxi out. I usually will put down half flaps on takeoff and full flaps on landing. I'll show you guys a few touch and goes later on. Let's go ahead and take this thing off. All right, control checks. Always check your controls before you fly. Just like every other warbird, you are going to need a little bit of right rudder on that takeoff. So start that roll with a little bit of back pressure on the elevator. More right rudder, more throttle. Comes right up. Put my gear up. Put my flaps up, now we're cruising. This airplane flies extremely well. It's a really scale airplane. If you're looking for a nice scale warbird to fly. Alright, let's come in for a nice slow pass. I'll show you guys what this thing looks like with full flaps down. And we'll come in for a touch and go right after. Hope YouTube doesn't copyright me for the music in the background. Alright, let's go ahead and bring the flaps up here. We'll come in and do a fast pass. Start up from farther over here, come in with full throttle. Nice and fast. Vertical. Get pretty nice up in there. Give it a little hammerhead. Does struggle with those a little bit. I don't recommend you do any aerobatics with this airplane closer to its stall speed. It is a Corsair, it will pit stall on you, and it is not very forgiving on stalls. Coming for another pass here. Nice and scale. Alright, coming for that touch and go, put our gear down, flaps down to full, and you'll see that landing light turns on right there. Gear's coming down. Nice and easy here. Nice touchdown. Full power, flaps top, back up in the air. Alright, flaps up, gear up. Looking for a 4-point roll. Come by, up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks really nice. Come by with full flaps again. A little presentation. Wow. Alright, we're going to keep our flaps down here, put our gear down, and we're coming for another touch and go. Now when you do land this airplane, you want to make sure that nose is pointed down and not up. You don't want to flare coming in with this airplane because it will stall. So coming in with that nose down, so leveling out right before you land is the grease, right just like that. Flaps back at half, full throttle, back up in the air. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and shut up here and I'll do some flying and I'll show you guys what this thing can do. Up, down. Flaps, you actually can come in pretty steep. We'll slow it down really nice. Kind of like barn doors. Nice and slow. We back off. Another 4-point roll. Super scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and show you guys the inverted capability of this airplane coming upside down. It's not the best inverted, however it does hold it still pretty well. Come in like this. We'll stay inverted and we'll come in from the other way. Now if you do add too much down pressure, I have realized it will flip back over on you. This thing also does have problems with high-speed stalls, so make sure you don't have too much elevated throw. Coming for another pass. Coming with some flaps here and do a nice low pass down the track. A little turbulent right now. We did just have a storm pass by, so it is a little bit gusty. Not super bad though. Alright, we'll come in for a dirty pass with the gear and flaps down here. Show you guys what that looks like from the air. Nice and slow. Not too slow, don't want to stall this airplane like I said. Alright. Gear up, flaps up. I'll give you guys full throttle pass here. We'll start up from really high. We'll come in full speed. Drive it in, full power. That's about how fast you're going to get on the stock power setup there. Now I won't really recommend any mods for this airplane. Everything how it is set up right now I really like for this scale airplane. I did do some weathering. I will have a video, or I might already have one out, of me weathering my P-51. And I used the exact same strategy for weathering that thing that I did with this. So if you guys want to weather airplanes like how I did with this thing, go ahead and watch that video, or it will be out soon. Got about 20 seconds left on the flight timer. We'll go ahead and come in for a full stop now. Put our flaps down, come in from our backs, even though it's kind of a crosswind right now. Actually, you know what, we'll come in from over here, from our left to right. Coming nice and scale. Alrighty. Try to land it right next to us. Alright. Coming in. Wow, would you look at that? No ground loop either. Unlike Connor. Step back to that real quick. Alright, stop. Alright, so I'll go ahead and show you guys that gear real quick right before we go back inside, and I'll show you guys the setup I have for this airplane. Go ahead and put the gear down real quick. The gear door open. Twist and turn just like the real airplane. And we'll go ahead and put the gear back up. Now the rear landing gear is actually also retractable, which is kind of cool. And it is still steerable. Then the gear go back up, twist and turn just like the real thing again. And then those gear doors. This is the only Corsair on the market that has those gear doors for a Corsair that is this size. Probably the best Corsair out there if you don't want to spend all the money on a massive warbird out there, 60cc size model. This is something that just does everything that airplane does. It's smaller, it's better than anything like those big warbirds do. It flies the exact same. So yeah, go ahead back inside and show you guys the setup of this airplane. All right guys, let's go ahead and get into the part of the video where I talk about the flight setup. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys everything that you need to know to get your airplane set up exactly as mine. If you want to tweak it a little differently, it's your airplane, you do what you want. But I'm just gonna go show you guys how I have mine set up if you really like the way how mine looked like it flew in the video. So let's go ahead and look at that. Let's go ahead and start with the servo setup. The travel is the exact same for everything. I haven't added travel or subtracted travel from any of the surfaces. I did add a little bit of delay on the flaps to make them go down a little bit slower. Just looks a little bit more scale compared to those flaps going down and up really, really fast. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to Expo. On my ailerons, I am running 100% dual rates and 55% Expo. I'm running 100% dual rates on all surfaces here. Then for elevator, I'm running 62% Expo, and rudder, I am running 25% Expo. Now I don't have high rates, low rates, just one rate when I'm flying this airplane, so yeah. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the AS3X setup that I have on this airplane, show you guys the gains that I have, and I am running a AR630 receiver in this airplane, which I'll talk about more about all this stuff more right when we come over here after I show the AS3X setup. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go into our forward programming, throttle cut. Put that on. We're going to go to gyro settings here. AS3X settings. AS3X gains. Alright, now here are all of my gains for my roll, pitch, and yaw. 40% on roll, 50% on pitch, and 60% on yaw. Again, that is an AR630 that I'm using right there. It says it right there. So yeah, alright, let's go ahead. Go back here. And I am using it on a switch, so if I do want to switch it off, I can. I don't really know if I'll ever need to unless something really bad happens with the AS3X. I do recommend you put it on a switch, though, just in case you ever need it, which you do it through the F mode setup, flight mode setup right there. And I won't show you how to do that. You can look through that through the manual on your remote or for a Spectrum receiver. There's probably plenty of videos that the Horizon Hobby has that can help you with that. All right. So let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and show you guys everything that you need to know about where to put your battery and what I did. All right, so here's everything that's going on in here. I'm running a HRB 6S 5000 milliamp pack all the way up in the front, and there's that AR630. that I have right there. Now, if you guys are seeing this and you're realizing the panel lines and all that stuff looks darker than what the one on the website looks, I did weather this thing. Now, I will have a separate video on weathering, and I did weather that P51 right there. And I probably will post it at the same time as I post the video for this airplane here. So, yeah, you'll probably see that video then also. That is everything you need to know. That is the full flight setup, full flight review, everything that you need to know about your Corsair to get your own. So, yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys did get one, and I'd love to see some pictures of you guys flying your airplanes. You can go ahead and go to my Instagram. It's RC_shenanigans124. And you can go ahead and DM me and show me guys some clips of your guys' Corsairs if you guys got one. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video next Saturday at 9 a.m.